All right, we are back. Views before the 666. What? Yo, this week, I guess this is like a crossover episode, man. we got my man Friday, a.k.a. Ricky Dred, up in the spot.
Woo -woo.
We love hip-hop, you know? But, yo, here's the funny thing, bro. I see your podcast. I see all that shit, bro. And I see... What was it? Maybe a couple weeks ago, you must have dropped one of the videos me and you did. And kids are like, yo, Friday, you rap, bro.
Can hear them shots in stereo. Niggas talk slick and hear them shots at point blank. I was in the yard with them niggas who hoop shanks. I was suicidal when I used to abuse drinks. 2 DUIs, I ended up in the boost.
I'm like, oh, these cats don't even know Fridays be rapping, man.
Yeah, they didn't know, apparently.
Oh, wow. Okay, so, yo, man, let's get into it. Friday, you know the first question we ask everybody is, were you born in Toronto?
I was not.
All right, where were you born, bro?
I was born in Montreal, Quebec.
Montreal, man. Yes. La Belle Province.
La Belle Province.
Yes, yes, yes.
I was born eating a poutine.
Okay, yo, so what's your background?
Well, my father is from Ghana, right? African.
Okay.
Which I didn't really know much of my father's side of stuff, right?
Right.
So I would say I grew up in a Barbados or a Bajan household.
Okay, because your mom's Bajan.
My mom's from Barbados, right?
Okay. So, yo, what ends of Montreal did you grow up in?
Well, we started off in LaSalle, which is like known as like kind of a notorious area out there. But from a young age, my mom moved us over to an area called the South Shore.
Okay.
Specifically, an area called Bizz. Suburban area, you know what I'm saying?
Word.
And like I grew up just around pure French white kids.
Wow. Okay.
Yes.
So, yo, who's the first Montreal rappers, I guess, you remember hearing?
Wow. KC Elemental P. That was like a French rapper from back in the days.
Okay.
MCJ and Cool G.
Word.
Okay.
Word.
MCJ and Cool G had a song called So Listen.
Yeah. Right. Shout out to Starting From Scratch, man.
Yeah,
He's on that joint. Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah, I think he was the DJ for those guys, wasn't he? I'm almost positive, man.
I know he's from there originally.
Word. Yo, I'm pretty positive he was the DJ for those guys. Okay.
Yeah. Quick memory that I had of that song. When that song first dropped, because there was a couple of kids that were in the video that went to my school.
Okay.
The dancers for MCJ and Cool G. Shout out to Adrian. You know what I'm saying? They were one of the dancers he was one of the dancers in the crew.
Okay.
So he literally wheeled the TV out. They wheeled the TV out into the hallway of my school to see the video premiere of that.
Oh, word. Okay.
But yeah, that's what's up.
Okay, so then I guess adversely, like, yo, who's the first Toronto rappers you remember hearing?
Well,
especially living in Montreal.
You see, the thing is, back in those times, and this is like early 90s, right?
Right.
Late 80s, early 90s. I used to watch Toronto from the outside as like this awe figure, like this utopia.
Okay.
Right? So because I was living in the South Shore, we didn't even have as much access to much music. We only had Music Plus over there. Right. You had to go over the bridge into Montreal, into the city of Montreal to actually get much music. Okay,
so yo, was there a Music Plus equivalent of Rap City, or did you guys see our Rap City?
Well, they had something called they had a Rap City version, or I forgot what the French translation of it was. It wasn't like Rap Cité or something like that, but like it was the same type of thing, right?
Okay.
But the CanCon laws, remember, we have a 30% CanCon law in Canada.
Right.
For the youngins who don't know. But in Quebec, there's an additional QuebecCon law.
Okay. So let's just break that down for people who don't know, right? The CanCon laws basically in Canada is that you have to play 30% of Canadian content within the hour. Now that's on the radio.
Yes.
That's on Much Music. That's all that shit.
Yes.
Okay, so then what was the Quebec law?
You have to play 20% Francophone or Quebec music.
Okay.
Or Francophone music, basically. Because
is that on top of the CanCon law?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Right? So, like, you had to hear, like, some French music and, like, or French rap and stuff like that, right? So I'd hear, like the Rain Men, right? Old school group, but they rapped in French and English.
Okay.
Right? Or we'd get, like, groups from France, like I Am.
Okay.
Right? MC Solar.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I said it's totally French.
Yeah. Yo, I took French immersion. Don't make me drop it, son. Okay, so yo, how then I guess, how do you get into music? How old are you when you got into music?
Well, a big thing with Montreal is the proximity to New York City.
Okay.
A lot of people who live in Montreal, especially with the big Haitian community out there, the Haitians will go from Haiti to Montreal or Haiti to Brooklyn, all right?
Okay.
New York has a big West Indian community, and New York is like 5 hours away from Montreal. So I'd be back and forth there all the time. All my family actually lives in New York.
Okay, word.
Right? So from 0 years old to about 17, I spent about 3/4 of my time in New York City when, like, anytime my school was done, I was gone.
Okay, word.
Right? Because, like, you know, I have a few cousins or whatever in Montreal, but everybody else is in New York. Right? Everybody migrated from Barbados to New York.
Okay, word.
Right? To the Bronx and to Brooklyn. So my first experience of rap was there. Like real rap.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I get like the little, you know, whatever we can pull from here in Canada, but then I'd go there and just be in the Mecca. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So to answer your question, the first time I actually decided to be a rapper, I was in the Bronx.
Okay.
I'm in a cab with my cousin, and the cab driver is like, yo, you know, because we're talking about picking up girls and all that. We're like, you know, we're just girl crazy young kids, right?
Right.
And he's like, this is what you gotta tell a girl if you want to pick her up, bro. Hey, pretty girl of my complexion, are you going in my direction?
Right.
And we're like, oh, shit, like he made it
like
rhyme.
How old are you these times?
Oh, fuck, I must have been like 11, dog.
Okay.
Right? And I went back to my cousin's crib and started writing.
Word.
Yeah, I was like, I want to write a rap.
Okay.
And that was the first time I ever wrote a rap.
Okay, so then how does back in Montreal, because I know that me and you know each other really well, right?
Yeah.
Back in Montreal and shit, yo, you used to run with like Tara Chase, and who else was part of that crew? What was that crew called?
Okay, so we had a crew called the I Spy crew back in the days.
I Spy, okay.
So for the Montreal heads, the old school Montreal heads, they know the I Spy crew. So it was a conglomerate of different crews and solo artists.
Okay.
Tara Chase, at the time, she had just changed her name to Tara Chase, formerly Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Doo, word. Okay.
Right? There was Mr. FaZe, who was another solo rapper who was a really dope MC and producer.
Okay.
We had my crew, which was me, another guy named Lord Raz, and another guy named Rebel Lion, and we had a crew called the South Side, right? Because we were from the South Shore.
Okay.
And we had DJ Majest, right? Who's a popular DJ out there, but at the time he was Majest, just the rapper.
Okay.
And we had a producer named Wiz, who produced all the beats for it. And we had a demo and everything. We opened for Mobb Deep at them times. When Raekwon came into the city, we opened for him. We opened for a lot of people those times. Like we were doing things.
Okay.
Yeah. And then Tara moved.
Okay, she came to Toronto.
Yeah. She moved. I don't remember exactly year. I would say maybe 91, 92.
Okay.
Right. She moved over to Toronto over here, and we'd stay in communication on the phone.
Okay.
And she'd tell me, wow, Toronto's crazy. Yo, I'm meeting all these people. I met Cardinal and Shock Claire and all these guys. And at this time, I was just seeing these guys in the music videos, dude.
Word.
So I'm like, fucking everybody's a star to me, bro. On with the show, I'm like, these guys are stars. When Tara was in that video, I was like, you fucking made it.
Word.
You're in the video with Cardinal and them?
So you do have joints with her from back in the day?
Yeah. Okay. On tape somewhere. Like,
okay.
It's funny because the first time I ever did a stage audition, I was there as a solo.
Okay.
They needed to group people together to get the audition going. So she was there as a solo, and they were like, you guys go on together. And they threw us on the stage together, and we just fucking, I don't know, collaborated a song or something right there on the spot. And like, so Tara Chase, that was, but it's funny because when I first got here, and I used to move around and try to get known in the radio stations and stuff like that with my music, or with the, at the time we changed Southside to Soldier Prophets, and it was just me and my brethren Lord Raz.
Okay.
And it's super hard to get noticed over here in Toronto when you're not from here.
Right.
Especially when you first get here.
Right.
And people are like, who the fuck are you? Right?
Right.
We're downstairs over at 89 or 88.1. in the basement there with X and all them man's the Power Move show.
Okay.
Right? And Tara was downstairs and she already was acquainted with everybody. She literally had to like introduce me to people like, yo, this is my boy, IBM. She would call me at the time because that was my rap name at the time.
Okay.
Right? I was an IBM intelligent black man.
Okay, the computer, the intelligent black man.
Right? Like back when acronym names were actually the thing, right?
Right.
So, yeah, she was introducing me to people and, you know, I was like, you know, my name's Friday and I already had
Okay, so wait, how did the name Friday come about?
You know, for the longest time, and it is true for the longest time, the excuse I tell people is, you know, because I get, you know, people get paid on a Thursday, so then they come see me on a Friday.
Word, okay.
Right? But to be honest, that came from the Friday movie.
Okay. Smoking.
Yeah, I was really getting into fucking smoking weed them times. Right?
Right.
Like, getting high, like not being able to smoke blunts back to back like this. It was just like everything was so amazing every time we smoked weed.
And then I guess Ricky Dred, of course, because you used to have the dreads.
I used to have the dreads.
Word,
right?
word.
And it's funny because nobody ever called me Ricky in Montreal. Nobody calls me Ricky in Montreal.
Word.
It's only here because I used to, you know, and past statute of limitations, I was hustling out here when I first got here. Right. So I'd stand out on Yonge Street in front of play the record or, you know, on the strip over there. And I didn't want to tell people, oh, my name is Ninja or some just, you know, like some street name that people are like, yeah, sure. What's your real name? Right? So I just came up with Ricky.
Okay.
And I just tell people my name's Ricky. Ricky.
Okay, so yo, when did you follow suit and come to Toronto? Like what years was that?
That was in 1997.
Okay.
Right?
And you came here what, to go to Hercs or some shit? Travis or Hercs?
I came here to go to Hercs. I had a choice. I was in Montreal. I was bumming around after a while, right? This is after the I Spy shit was done. I'm there, you know, doing my thing, you know.
Right.
I dropped out of CJEP, which is like the equivalent of like junior college over here.
Okay.
You know, I was getting deeper and deeper into my hustle, but a few things happened and I was just kind of had to slow down my hustle. So I'd just be chilling in my mom's crib all the time, doing nothing.
Okay.
Right? Like I'd get a little money here and there. My girlfriend at the time was holding me down and she was like, you need to fucking do something with your life. Right? So I applied to 2 schools, one in New York City and one over here, Harris Institute.
Okay.
Got accepted to both.
Okay.
Could have went to New York with my whole family. Decided to come here where I knew one person, which was Lord Raz, because he already had a place in Parkdale.
Okay. So what did you take at Harris?
I took music marketing and management. They had 2 different sides. You can take the production side of things, or you could take the marketing side. So I took the marketing side. I got teachers like Ivan Barry at the time, who was like Dream Warriors fame and all that, right?
Right.
I was like, wow, I'm getting to learn from the guy who managed the Dream Warriors and, you know, like...
I mean, Beat Factory, right?
Yeah, like, and I was well aware of all these things, right? Like, I didn't realize at the time that I was already an information sponge. Not just, oh, I like the music and I could rap.
Right.
Like, all the other pieces of information, like how the behind the scenes work and all that was actually sticking in my head. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, when I was in CJET, I took creative arts in school. Which we got to do film classes and different things like that. Got to watch movies like Kramer versus Kramer and see how the breakdown of the cinematography is and what the different behind the scenes things are. And they told us, when you take these classes, you're never going to be able to watch anything the same again.
Right.
Because you're going to break down everything. It's going to be annoying.
Yeah, just like making beats and shit. It's the same way for me now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
So I didn't realize at those times that I was like actually just sponging every piece of information rather than just what I liked. Everything was going in.
Okay, so yo, is that how you got involved with the street team stuff?
Yeah. I was at school at Harris.
Right.
You know, and yeah, like from between I got accepted to Harris, decided to move here. I'm here in Parkdale, going to Harris over by Sherburne and Queen.
Right.
And living at Dufferin and Queen.
Okay.
So I'd see these guys pull up at the school, the BMG street team, guys like Sid, shout out to Lex.
Word, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Lex was on the Warner Street team at the time. him and Sid were on the Warner Street team, or I think Sid was on the BMG street,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Shout out Gramps, right?
Yeah.
And I'd see those guys come around, and I'd be like, "Yo, how can I get down?"
And BMG was right there too at Queen and Dufferin, right?
I had
King and Dufferin, yeah.
No, not at the time.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Okay.
That was later on. That was like later in the 2000s.
Right.
But yeah, I was just like, how can I get down on the team? I asked Lex from the Warner team.
Okay.
And he's like, just come through, man, and just, you know, hand out flyers, do whatever, right? Because it's free, right?
Word.
So I started doing that. But I overdo shit.
Okay.
So if you ask me to do some shit, I'm gonna do it and then do it really fast, get it all done, and be like, all right, so it's done. What do you want me to do next?
Right.
Right. And I kept on doing that, and the person who was running the team at the time, Kim McKenzie.
Yes.
Okay. Shout out to Kim McKenzie.
Word.
She seen that. She seen like, holy shit, this guy works fast. This guy is like always there early. You know what I'm saying? And there was a few times where kind of Lexus wasn't available, but I'm always there.
Right.
So, and she started transitioning into working for Warner, and then she was moving over to Sony.
Word. Okay. Yeah.
So she couldn't hold down. No, she still kept the street team, and she had the Sony. She was working for Sony, but then it became a conflict of interest because she still wanted to keep Warner contracts.
Okay.
So she started her own independent team, which she let me take over.
Okay. So let's talk about that.
Because I was the Toronto guy at one point when like Lex started slipping.
Right.
And I think he was just dealing with his own personal issues and stuff like that. But once I started running the Toronto team, and she seen like, you know, I'm keeping track of all the guys on the Toronto side, and she had to like make a decision. She was like, take the whole of Canada. So I went from just running taking care of like 4 guys to taking care of 10 guys.
Okay.
Maybe 12.
Okay.
Right? Because
you used to go cross Canada.
I didn't personally have to go cross Canada. Everything in those times was communication was by phone, right?
Right.
Or email, I guess, right?
Right.
So mans would have to go put up the posters, the same posters that we're putting in whatever areas down here, and you know, I got to do Warner contracts and Sony contracts at the same time.
So, you know, just for the sake of a discussion, like, what were some of those? Do you remember some of those albums?
Oh fuck yeah, we pushed the Corrupt album, like when Corrupt had that big album with the purple cover. I don't remember
Yeah.
Space Boogie, I think it was called.
Okay, yeah.
Mobb Deep, Infamy. That was a fucking big one. And the album before that, I think
Hell on Earth?
not Hell on Earth, the album between that, Murder Music.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Lil Kim, the album before she got locked up, the hardcore album. We worked on that. We worked on Sex, Drugs, and Entertainment.
Cameron.
Or Sports, Drugs, and Entertainment, Cameron. And I met Cameron in those times.
Okay.
He was at Club Life, which was the popping club at the time. Him and Dame Dash. Okay. And don't worry about that. Like, him and Dame Dash were there in the club, and fucking, we're handing out flyers. We still had flyers in our hands. So I'm like, yo, we street team, dog. Yo, we love your music, fam. And he's like, oh, respect. So now we're getting out the club. We're outside the club handing out the flyers, and they're coming out. And he's like, yo, hand me some of them flyers. Cam was not popular at these times.
Okay.
Him and Dame coming out with a couple of chicks, and he had to take some of the flyers that he took from me, and he showed the girl before he got in the limo. Yo, that's me, dog. Or that's me, girl. That's me.
Okay.
And then I seen him jump in the limo. I was just like, wow. Like he had to, like in hindsight, he had to show the girl who he was on the flyer.
Because they didn't even really know him back then.
Yeah, he was just.
I mean, Horse and Carriage probably would have been the biggest.
Yeah.
Or What Means the World. What them kind of just.
So, that was pre What Means the World.
Okay.
Yes.
So because I street teamed, and I'm gonna ask this to everybody who was street teaming. What was your favorite street team swag? Because there was always some kind of swag. You know what I mean? Like we were talking about fucking Hell on Earth, the lighters. Remember the lighters from Hell on Earth campaign? Still to this day, mans are like, we'll kill for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Wow, it's hard to call it because I enjoy just the CD snippets. Those times people used to have CD snippets, tape snippets, and CD snippets.
I remember that shit. Yeah.
Those were my favorites. Tape snippets. Just having the music ahead of time and knowing that you're the only one who has this. Right? Actually, my favorite swag is the Violators fucking rap that they put. around my fucking car, the decal.
Okay.
2001.
Yo, for me, it's remember the alcoholics? They had the bottle openers.
Ooh.
The keychain bottle openers. That's still to the... Yo, I had one of those. I mean, I'm talking about going into the... into the fucking 2000s when I finally lost that set of keys.
Yeah.
I had that shit forever, bro. You know what I mean?
They even had the Big Mac. Remember the Big Mac?
Yes, yeah.
For the Craig Mac and Biggie?
That was before my time still, you know what I mean?
But I wasn't even the street team sometimes. I just seen that and I was just like, that's fucking cool. You know what I mean?
So, yo, while you're street team, are you making music still?
You know what I mean?
So, yo, while you're street team, are you making music still?
Yeah.
Knock it down.
I was locked inside, some wrote me off. Quit the game, niggas thought I went soft. Fucking yo, I'm still known as a vet, and your bitch still wet, cause my wrist is...
I was making music with Lord Raz as part of Soldier Prophets.
Okay.
Right? We had a demo. In 2000, we started AWOL Records.
Okay.
Or Raz started AWOL Records.
Okay, so what does AWOL stand for the people?
A Way of Life.
A Way of Life.
Yes.
Okay.
We started AWOL Records back in 2000. We were seeing like the Master P's and all those guys off the late 90s doing and Cash Money starting independent labels. Bad Boy, you know, hearing the stories of, yo, they got 36 million and 60 million and all that, and we're like, yo, we could be the same. Entertainment, right?
Right.
So we were like, yo, we could do the same motto. All right. Kill that. And so he started a record company. He told me, I'm starting a record company up, calling it AWOL Records or whatever. And I'm like, I want you to be the business manager.
Okay.
So I did that. All right. I just made sure that, you know, we packaged our music. You know, I started working with Daryl Rodway at the time from
Herbnet, word. Okay,
right?
okay.
When they were just a website, they helped us get our bios together and the pictures and all that, and they used that up on their website. And, you know, we were trying to do the independent thing. Over time, Raz started getting into a little bit of trouble and shit like that. You know, got locked up a couple of times. I was going through my shit them times too, you know what I'm saying? There was a space of time where I was on the run, and
Right.
that's when I cut my locks off.
Right. Yeah, I remember the eras.
Right, so people used to see me as really Ricky Dred. This is like pre them times, right? But that label being started helped me to continue doing business under that label. Right?
Okay, so like, who was on AWOL? I remember Buns was on AWOL.
Yo, Soza, you a fool for this one. AWOL is the team. Do some trays all day. Hey, yo, I'll roll with them scavengers.
Buns was on AWOL post 2004, right? 2003.
Okay.
Right around the time I dropped my second mixtape, because I started doing a mixtape called The Connect.
That's right, with the chick with the big bowl of weed and shit like that.
Yes.
I remember those.
That was Connect Volume 2.
Okay.
Connect Volume 1 was just a picture of a brick.
Okay, I don't know if I remember that one still.
So it was a border, 2 black borders,
Yeah.
and then a picture of just all white snow basically in between, right? But it was a real picture.
Okay.
My guy at the time, right? You know, because at the time I was like really in the streets heavy, right? He was like, you know, my boy Stress, R.I.P. Stress.
Yes.
Okay.
Lounge Times, if you know, word.
Yes. And he was like, dog, why the fuck you rapping? You rapping the same shit that we live in for real, right?
Yeah.
But yet he still wanted to fucking make an album cover for me. He went in the cupboard, took a picture of a fucking brick, and then fucking said, that's what you're going to use.
Wow. Okay.
R.I.P. Stress. That's the only reason I can tell these stories, because he ain't here. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
But yeah, he had an interlude on there. I put an interlude because he passed that same year, right? He shot himself.
Yes.
Crazy story. You know what I'm saying? But I still had some of his recordings, so I put that on the first Connect. Second Connect is when I met Buns.
Okay.
All right. I just did an interview with Buns the other day for it's the same show, 6 Views.
Okay, I figured it out. They're trying to get as much knowledge as they can before they get off this plane. You know, using their time wisely. So let me do the same then. And now the conversations are different. When I walk into the plane, the guy next to me, prime example, a guy that I met who's the vice president of Verizon, when I was sitting there reading the book, he asked me about the book I was reading.
Or the video version of what we're doing here. And it's funny because we asked him that same story where I met him in front of Phoenix, and he was like, I'm the hottest rapper in Toronto. And
he was from Rex, right?
He's from the Rex.
Okay, yeah.
Right?
He was an ill baller, if I remember correctly, right?
At the time, he was playing for Arizona State.
Okay.
And he was visiting back and forth, coming into the city and just coming to the clubs, doing his thing, rapping outside of shit. I've seen him. I feel like I seen a video of him rapping already, and I was like, this guy's fucking dope. But he told me I'm the best rapper in Toronto. I'm like, prove it. Let me hear some shit.
Okay.
He starts rapping. He gets maybe about 4 bars in, maybe 6. And I was like, come to the studio, dog. Tomorrow, studio. And he was in the studio the next day.
Okay.
But before that, I managed a few other artists.
Okay, like who?
I managed an artist named Peter Bones, okay, a kid from the Esplanade. He's known in the downtown streets around here, but like, you know, he's had a few issues that kind of made us part ways. But he was like, I try to get him in the studio and different things like that. I managed a girl named Black Pearl, or a woman named Black Pearl. Okay. Who was down with a crew from Montreal called the Butter Babies.
Oh, word. Okay. Yeah. 100%. 100%.
All right. So
Man-Child and them guys.
Man-Child, you know, Shadow, right?
Yeah.
She was down with them, and she was moving here. And it was like, okay, well, I could do the management, right? I could help you with this. I can help you and not be one of those guys who try to hit on you, because that was one of the things I always realized, like, with women artists, they always have that issue of people trying to hit on them.
Word. Yeah. It's fuck. It's so I mean, yeah.
Right? So I wanted to be the guy who's not going to do that and, you know, let her do what she wants to do. But at the same time, it's hard to manage female artists. Sex appeal was something that, you know, people want to see and all that. And I wanted maybe her, like, I was trying to bring those ideas, and she was like, I'm trying to be more on that Black Power shit. And
word.
We kind of parted ways.
Okay.
But over about a year or so later, that's when I met Buns.
Okay. He put out what, the mixtape, what was it called, Deuces and Trays? Or?
Yes. That was mostly produced by Sprox, Soze.
Word.
That was back in those times when we used to be over at IC Visions a lot and shit.
Okay, shout out to the remix. IC Vision then became the remix program.
Yes.
All that shit for those of you who don't know.
Yes.
This is like Hip Hop Canada era.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That was when the boards were just starting to get cooking.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Gladstone, what up?
Yeah. Shout out to Jesse, man. You know what I'm saying? Uncle Dutchy.
Uncle Dutch. I guess from that, okay. So then how does the whole Empire era kick in?
That was from seeing those guys on road all the time.
Okay.
They used to stand up on Yonge Street in front of fucking Levi's.
Okay, so let's just preface this, because you then go on to manage Empire.
Yes, eventually.
You were kind of like part of the crew, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right, okay, so go on.
I was like more of their executive producer, manager, A&R, all of that in one, because they were also like, I was distributing them under the label, right?
Okay.
But I started with managing Scandalous.
Okay.
Right?
Is that when he was battle rapping and stuff still?
Yes, that was right off of the heels of all of the battles that he had won. So his name was already buzzing in the street. Soze had told me, yo, you should manage that guy.
Okay.
Right? I was going to his crib heavily doing fucking music.
Right.
But he seen that I had a business sense as well. And he's, you know, he's like, you should try to do some management as well. Like, I seen you do, you know, you got a couple of guys you tried to manage before. This guy's hot.
Right.
Right? I was like, you know what? I might do that. I used to see these guys in front of Levi's all the fucking time selling mixtapes.
Okay.
Right? Trade a Rhyme Animal, man like G, Hoodlands.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah.
Right? So I used to see them, and that's how they used to see me.
So would this have been like Table of Nonsense times?
Yeah.
Or were they into the SARS stuff already?
They had already dropped SARS 1.
Okay.
Right? The one with Toxic on the cover.
Oh, okay. That's SARS 1, eh? Okay. Yeah, okay.
I think that's SARS 1. Or no, I don't think SARS 1 had anybody on the cover. I think SARS 2 had Toxic on the cover.
Okay.
Right? So they were right on SARS 2. Yeah. So, okay, where were we? Like SARS 2.
Right.
So that's when I met those guys. Or like I had already been seeing them on the road. I'd buy mixtapes from G. I was on G's mixtapes as a rapper, so they knew me as a rapper, but they'd see me pulling up, you know, the rapper, the hustler guy, pulling up in the Jeep all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So we were already cool. It was kind of like an easy transition. Like, yo, let me see what I can do to get you to different places. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And he also had, he had won the pony battle. So he had EMI who still owed him a vinyl, owed him a 12-inch. Right? For the kids who don't know what a fucking 12-inch is, who are listening to this in the views from this.
Hold on. Let me stop you. This is not your podcast, Friday.
sorry.
People who are listening to our podcast know what vinyl records are.
Oh, this is true.
Proceed. EMI owed him a 12-inch.
So the EMI owed him a 12-inch, and I was like, I'll get that 12-inch done for you. Right?
Okay.
I'll fucking chase these motherfuckers around. You know what I mean? I.e. do the management shit.
Okay.
And he still came as a package deal because he's there with the squad.
Right.
Empire
right.
rolled together. A bunch of rowdy motherfuckers. They had a reputation.
Yeah.
You know? And guys didn't want to touch them. Guys didn't want to fucking do shows with them because they're fucking smashed up a few shows, and
those are legendary. We'll save
allegedly.
We'll save those for the Atom Bomb Trey and fucking them guys episodes. You know what I mean?
I wasn't there for those episodes, so I heard about them.
Oh, word. We all know about that.
I witnessed it afterwards as a manager and whatever. Like I went through some of those times, but I heard about them. So I was apprehensive to do the management of the whole crew. But I could handle just managing Scandalous.
Okay. I mean, I guess at this time, if this is like after Table of Nonsense and shit, this would have been about the times they were fucking with like Arithmetic real heavy, right?
Yes, super heavy.
Shout out to Arithmetic, man.
Yes.
Super dope producer.
Yes, he was around. 40 was already around. I had met 40 at that point because I had met him at Sherburne and Dundas when they had the crib over there and they were recording out of that place.
That was Medic's crib.
That was Medic's crib.
Yeah.
That's where I met 40.
Okay, word.
Right, he was in there just making beats and recording them as well.
This is obviously pre-Drake.
Oh yeah,
all that stuff.
Super
right?
pre-Drake, right? So what made the deciding factor, which is the weirdest deciding factor, is we went to Hamilton.
Okay.
To go do a show. It was a Loudmouth show, which is Atom Bomb and Scandalous together.
Yes.
Right? But the whole Empire always rolls together because, you know, we might throw an Empire song in there, right?
Okay.
And they didn't have that many Loudmouth songs, so I didn't even know how they even got a Loudmouth show.
Okay.
Right? So the whole squad's out there, they're doing their thing, and boom, bash, bing, something happens, and bottles start flying all over the fucking place, right? I get into manager mode. Instead of fucking throwing bottles myself and beating people up, I tell the women that are there with us, gather up all the jackets, let's go get the fucking car and bring it around because we're going to have to do a fucking getaway at this motherfucker. Right? And as soon as I brought the car around, they all came spilling out the club, jumped in the fucking, in the van, and we were gone. Right?
Okay.
And then I was like, this is kind of fucked up, but the reception that they got from when they were doing their show and just the amount of fucking groupies and everything that was just happening, I was just like, this is a powerful fucking movement.
Word.
I think I might have to just deal with the whole group. Fuck it.
Okay.
And from there I decided I'm going to just, everything that's Empire, whether it's Loudmouth, whether it's Scandalous as a solo artist, whatever they want to do, I'm in.
Okay.
You know, and then we started moving from there.
So then I guess you guys started doing Get It.
I was an only child, the only one, my only mother's only son. I only hung with older guys, the older brothers show me love, show me truth, told me little homie, it ain't only fun, your only goal is dough, get the paper.
Yeah, that was the benchmark, the goal, because everybody, I kept on hearing about this Get It album that everybody wanted to have.
I mean, like, we gotta talk. Like, we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about like how SARS mixtapes was a movement on its own. You
Super
know what
big
I mean?
movement.
I'm waiting for, like, I'll get in depth with that with like Trey more so than anything, but like that was a whole movement unto itself. But I remember everybody was like, okay, yo, these guys are dope, but where's the album?
Yeah.
So then Get It was the album.
Get It was definitely the album.
And it had everybody, Sprox, Tone Mason, like all the dope producers, you know what I mean? All that stuff.
It was a lot of work to put that together, man.
Because you got locked up.
After.
Oh, it was after.
It was all after.
I thought it happened during. Okay,
I still had the deal because during that time we inked a deal, or I inked a deal for AWOL Records with E1 Music.
Okay.
Freshly E1 Music off of Koch Records.
Okay. See,
Right.
I didn't know that still.
So we inked a deal. Shout out to Jesse because we did it through Hip Hop Canada. The time that they were going digital. So they had Hip Hop Canada digital.
Okay, I remember that. Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And they were like, they wanted to sign Empire. I said, no, you got to sign my label so that I can put out anybody I want besides just Empire.
Okay.
Right?
Watch. You want to see me segue it hard?
Go
Watch
for it.
this. Watch this. Okay, yo, we're back. So we got cut up. So now this is a funny thing because everybody always asks me, yo, how come you guys don't videotape the fucking show? How come you guys don't videotape the show? Well, we're actually videotaping it for Friday's podcast.
Or for views, 6 views.
6 views, right?
Yeah.
We'll talk about all that after. But the camera batteries died. We just had to go and fix everything. And that, my friends, is exactly why we don't fucking videotape the show, bro.
Don't kill me right now.
All right, okay, so yo, you were saying you had to deal with Hip Hop Canada through the digital stuff, right? So you guys put out Get It. It's super well received. Then what happens? Let's talk about this Friday. We got to talk about it.
So it's a crazy story.
I love because me and your homies, right? And we've talked about this, and it's like enough time has passed. Like you end up going to jail.
I went to jail.
Okay.
I went to jail, and I've told this story through my own content as well.
Okay,
so
I didn't know that.
It's not even like a big secret. Like every week I get on the freaking podcast, and I'm like, oh shit, and you know when I did time, and I'm like, oh fuck, here I go again, fucking letting all my business out.
Okay.
Right, so it's out there, right? But I went to jail for a firearm at the time.
Okay. Is this the falling asleep?
Yes.
Can we just tell that story more so? Okay.
So,
have you ever told that story in your own content or no?
I've told it through my blog. I have a blog that I started called The Sober MC after all of that debacle and everything happened.
Okay, so yeah.
But this is the first time I'm actually telling it on camera.
Because here's the thing, we got to preface this too, right? Like, yo, I remember seeing you guys out. You guys used to wild out. You guys used to drink fucking heavy. Ricky Friday, a.k.a. 100 blunts to the head.
And 100 fucking shots of fucking vodka.
Right, yo. So what happens? You go home.
Yeah. So with that, prior to that, I never, like, okay, I had, because I was convicted for this, right? I had a firearm in the crib. But before that, I'd gotten robbed.
Okay.
Right? Me and a few other members of the crew. Right before the album release party, Forget It. It was the night of the album release party.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So I'd organized an album release party over at Octopus Lounge.
Okay.
Right? Octopus is popping in times.
Yeah.
And yeah, everybody was waiting for us to get there. Me and a few other of the Empire members were in my crib waiting for me to deal with a few things. And when the people came to deal with what I had to deal with, they robbed me.
Okay.
And it was what some people would consider a traumatizing experience, I guess, because there was guns involved and all that type of stuff, right?
Okay.
But they let us live, obviously, and we went to the party.
Okay.
Right? No jewelry, because I used to have mad jewelry at them times.
Right.
And
I remember that still.
I got all my jewels back because it was like a thing.
Right.
Like everything that I lost, I wanted to get back. But at the time, after that happened, I was like super paranoid, and I had to get away. I need to just take a trip. I was drunk every fucking night for 20 years prior to that anyway. Right.
Right.
And my brain was just like, if I see these guys, they're getting it, or if they try to come back to my crib, like I was thinking they might come back. My brain was on 100 different fucking vibes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And them times I would drink a bottle of vodka nightly.
Right.
Nightly, and then hit the after hours and go bang out another fucking few King Cans, or you know what I'm saying? And
Word.
so I was just a fucking mess, a working mess.
Right.
Because I was doing a lot of shit.
Yeah, I used to see you guys out and about doing your things. You know what I mean?
And every day I'm in front of my computer banging out, making sure that I'm getting this group to the next level and all types of things. So just at night, get saucy, and because I could hang with those guys. Like they're a crazy group, but I was organized.
Right.
So I could bring organization, and then when it's time to party, let's fucking party.
Right.
Right? But with that shit happening, I got super paranoid. Went to New York, came back, and off the plane even, I was on the plane, I was getting super smashed. Came off the plane, went to Octopus Lounge, got more smashed. Came home. I remember dealing with, like, I had to go deal with a WAP or whatever, and then I fell asleep.
Right.
Woke up to hearing the fire alarms going off. And I called one of my neighbors and I was like, yo, you hear the fire alarms going off in the building? And she was like, yeah. I'm like, oh, fuck, I don't know. Because it's like we're in PK, we're in Parkdale. Like, fire alarms go off in the building like every other fucking day, right? And it's false alarm, you know what I'm saying? So I go back to bed, wake up again, and I'm sitting in the landlady's office with the fire chief and a vice squad guy.
Okay.
And I'm like, how the fuck did I get in here? Like, remember what I said? Went to bed,
right?
Woke up, and was in the landlady's office. So, like, whatever happened in between, je ne sais pas. Right? So, I'm like, and I hear the fire alarm still going off, but nobody's outside the building. Like, I could see through the window of the landlady's office. Nobody's outside the building. So I asked them, why am I in this fucking office? And why is the fire alarms going off and nobody else is outside? And they're like, because the fire went off in your place, buddy.
Oh, snap.
Right? And then they took me away, took me straight to the station. Said, if we go back to your crib and do a search, because we found what we think, or what we believe to be cocaine on your kitchen counter. Right?
Oh,
if
shit.
we go back to your house, are we going to find anything else? And I said, no. They went back, and they said, what about this loaded 44 that we found?
Oh, shit.
And I was like, I want my lawyer. Rest is history. I came home.
Right.
I came home on bail. I went a week in the dawn. My buddy G put up a house for me so I could fucking come home on bail.
Okay.
I was home. Back to getting sauced. I'm on curfew, 9 o'clock, working at Christie Oslington Center.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, as a volunteer, actually, right? But I'm there honing.
They had a little hip hop program over there, right?
Yes, and they had a studio in there. So I was like engineering, recording the kids, helping them even with their recording techniques and stuff like that.
Okay.
Like different advice that because I had the home studio before that too. So I was tracking the Empire songs, rough copies, and then taking them over to 40 or whoever to go record a fucking real session. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I was honing my own, like, even recording skills and recording my own shit. Right? So even because of the fact that I was out on bail, I started recording mad shit. Right?
Word.
I was already Connect Volume 4 by that point.
Right.
Right? Which was me on the cover with like a suit.
Which is the one that you put the vinyl out for?
That was off of Connect Volume 2, actually.
Oh, okay.
Right? We had tracks that weren't on the actual mixtape.
That were just on the vinyl.
That were just on vinyl. Okay. Right? I was like, I want to press vinyl, called Lacquer Channel, and made a fucking vinyl.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Which the crazy picture with me with the half pound of weed. Holy fuck. This is how, okay, just side note, you see how kids are doing all this crazy shit, money phone and all that, and I can't tell them, oh, you guys are stupid, because we were just as stupid back then.
For sure.
I know I was just as stupid.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Fair enough.
We're dealing with the weed laws and all that and the freeness that we have now, right? And I'm just standing with a fucking half pound and I let somebody photograph me and then pressed vinyls with that.
Right. Hilarious.
Stupid person. Hey, right here.
So then what, when did you go like away for real though?
So I was home, kept drinking. I was home December of 2009.
Right.
I went away in December 2009, did that week, came home, and I was on curfew for 2 months. And then by February 2010, with some things that happened that night of February 18th, I was waiting for the dollar bottle guy to come see me actually to get my drink.
Oh, shit.
Right? And during that time, a few things happened in the daytime that I'm not going to talk about now.
Right.
And boom, my door came flying off at like midnight or like 12:30. it's crazy because I'm there watching TV. Next person, like my co-E at the time, we're like watching the TV and we're like, yo, these sick thugs, they're getting raided.
Okay.
Right? They raided the Sick Thug studio. We were like, holy, see now CP24, that's fucked up. Then all of a sudden, boom.
Your door fly off.
My door comes flying off. Right? So, and then it was done. Like they found more shit and they were like, you're not getting no more fucking bail. Fuck that. And I started to do my time. I started doing time in the dawn, waiting for my fucking trial and all that shit.
Word.
Spent about 4.5 months in that fucking gladiator school. No incidents.
Right.
Not one fucking fight. You know what I'm saying?
So how long did you eventually do?
In total, I was sentenced to 3 years and 9 months.
Yeah.
Right? Because there's a mandatory 3.5 years for guns in this country.
Right.
With the drugs running concurrent, or instead of consecutive, luckily.
Right.
And I did a year of it. And then I came home on parole to do day parole for the rest of the time, rest of the two and a half, 3 years.
So that's when you came home and you made the album Home.
Yes. Before that, I did Born to Win. That's when we met.
Oh, that's right, Born to Win. Yeah,
or that's when we reacquainted with each other.
Yeah, because we already knew each other. But I remember you came to check Sid Gramps, and he gave you the outro, and then you came upstairs and I gave you the intro.
Yes.
And it was like the first or second beat I played for you too.
Yeah. Moment of Truth was the name of the track.
Yeah.
And
fuck,
I dropped the mixtape while I was gone too. Shout out to Trader Rhyme Animal.
Okay, I didn't know that.
He executive produced and released for me the Connect Volume 5, Free Friday.
Okay, see, I didn't even remember that. Still,
yeah. There's tracks on there too. You know, I had Empire features, a bunch of shit. You know what I'm saying? But I came home and like I was kind of just like couldn't really do much, couldn't smoke.
Right. Well, I mean, that's like let's talk about that because from all that happening, that's when you stopped drinking, right?
Well, I stopped drinking the day that my door flew off.
Right.
I was waiting for the dollar bottle guy. He obviously never arrived. And that was the last time I ever had a drink. That was February 18th, 2010.
Okay.
Right? Because when I went away, even though there was alcohol available, my brain had turned the corner.
Right.
Like for people who are in the alcoholic community, because I consider myself an alcoholic, there's no such thing as a recovering alcoholic. Right. And this is like stuff that I learned from the 12-step programs and stuff like that, right? Because if you're like, oh, I'm not an alcoholic anymore because I don't drink, then that means that if I have a drink, then nothing's going to happen. Right. Yeah. But I know fucking however many years later, if I was to have one drink today, we're going to start that cycle all over again. Right. You know what I'm saying? So that means I'm forever an alcoholic. Right. Whether I'm drinking or not. All right. But at that time, that was the last drink that I ever had. It was just like my brain turned the corner and I started doing meetings inside. Okay. Because there's meetings available inside, right? Okay. If you want to go to them. And then one of the things, they finally sent me away to the pen and everything like that, and I got my sentencing, you know, partially to look good for parole, but also, you know, it was mainly for myself. Word. Right? But then it also looked good for parole too. Right. And then when I came home, I continued going to meetings. And I was a heavy meeting guy. I'd go to meetings like 7 a.m., bro. Yeah, I remember that. Still. Yeah, and then sometimes hit another one by the nighttime. Yeah. Because, I mean, them times me and you started recording a lot. And that's when you made Home. And did I record a lot of Home? You recorded Get It Right.
Started moving work from way back in 93. Cross-color jeans and Gucci links what influenced me. Marcus was my first boss. Taught me how to use a scale. $200 a week will never make bail.
Okay, which is the song that I did for you.
Yeah, and we had a music video for that. That's like one of my biggest songs to date, actually.
Word, eh?
Yeah,
okay.
And then there was another song that you produced on there. It'll come to me later.
Right.
But yeah, I was super, like, I smoke weed now, but there was 3 years that I wasn't able to smoke any weed because I was on parole. And I got into the corporate world, dude. Right, that's when I started working at my corporate job and stuff like that, which I won't mention the company, but I started working in the corporate world. Like I had to get a job. It was one of my parole conditions. Prior to that, I was like, I'm working for myself.
But you were still making music.
I was still making music.
Right.
I had to pull punches though. I couldn't be like, you know, I couldn't be as rah-rah as I wanted to be.
Right.
Right. I had to keep in mind my PO might be fucking listening.
Right.
I'm not technically allowed to be doing music videos and shit like that. I can't be at past a certain time. You know what I mean? I can't be in bars or anywhere alcohol is sold. I was fucking MCing, fucking
right, Law's night and shit. Yeah,
me and DJ Law, fucking. I'm party people, put your hands. I'm doing that.
Yeah, I remember them times.
But I'm around alcohol all the time, not drinking.
Word.
Right, and my brain never said, "Oh, I want to drink." You know what I'm saying?
Word.
So that's like, and it was almost like I was even testing myself subliminally. That like, can I be around all these different environments that I was around before where free drinks come with the job, but not drink?
Right.
And it's like I started finding power in it because like the clarity that I have, like I'm seeing as I'm MCing with Law and we're up there in the booth, I can see episodes unfolding in front of me.
Right.
And I'm like, if you just didn't do that, this 2 steps wouldn't have happened where you guys started punching each other in the face. You know what I mean?
Alcohol is usually one of those 2 steps. We know that.
Yeah, but musically, I had to pull a lot of fucking punches. Right?
Right.
Yeah, until the parole ended in April 14th, 2014.
And that was when we started doing Nocturnal?
That's when Home dropped.
Okay.
Home dropped April 14th of 2014.
Okay.
And on Home, I was able to be a bit more rah-rah. You know what I'm saying? Because I knew my parole was ending. You know what I'm saying? There was a couple of songs that I had already started smoking weed a little bit earlier, and I was like, oh, shit. Oh, fuck. Oh, man, this is what it feels like to smoke weed again. Oh, the creativity just was like at 110.
I remember them times because you'd be fucking coming and taking beats and doing all kinds. Because we were recording together quite a bit them times, right?
Yes.
You know what I mean? I was recording your other stuff too. And then I guess, it would have been Nocturnal.
Yeah, started going into Nocturnal. That's when we started getting really heavy into recording together.
Long as money be the language, speaking fluently. I'm in love with the diamonds. On the 4-1, smoking while I'm driving. More money, but I'm trying to put my mind in the wrong places, right?
You know what I'm saying?
And then Hagler came into the fold.
Hagler was in the fold from Born to Win, actually.
Oh, word. Okay.
Yeah, I was recording. I recorded Born to Win out of the Remixed project studios. Right. At the same time, Division was recording their first project in there, and we used to fight for recording time. I didn't even know that it was the guy from Division.
Okay. Word. Okay.
Right, Daniel. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We did Home in there too.
Okay.
Most of Home was in there too, and a lot of tracks from Nocturnal were in there too.
Yeah, because I remember them times like me and Hagler would be going back and forth, and like you would get us both to be mixing shit and stuff like that, man.
Shout out to Hags, yo.
Hags, man, great kid, man.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Big engineer and producer in the scene. You know what I mean? He worked on the new what's that Ute there from LA there?
Vince Staples, was it?
Vince Staples.
Yeah, I saw that,
the FM album.
Yeah. I mean, Nocturnal was supposed to be your last album.
It was supposed to be.
But, every time this guy be like, after that, I remember, because I'm like, I remember there was a thread between me, you, and Hagler with the mixes, and I'm like, Friday, is this fucking really it, man? Is this finally over? I never want to do this again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As soon as Nocturnal's over, it's like, you know what, man? I think me and you should do an EP still. You know what I mean?
Because I found my pocket, bro.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit. I actually got better in my later age. Which now I see as a thing, like Royce 5'9" and guys like that are like getting to their serious, sick lyrical peak at these points now. But I was like, oh shit, this is what I need to do to rap better and people receive it more. You know what I mean?
Right.
I got a publicist at the time. And the publicist is like, this is the different things that you need to do to get your shit hot. Right?
I remember, that's right. When we started doing Shift, that was like, that was a real interesting time for me too, because I remember you're like, the whole skit on the record there where you tried to
got trapped.
This guy tried to Jedi mind trick me about like, yo, you can't make trap beats. I'm like, what do you mean I can't make trap beats? He's like, yeah, you can't do it, can you? And I'm like, of course I can. I choose not to. You know what I mean? Yeah. This guy Jedi mind tricked me anyways. So I mean, yeah, but that was cool because it made me come out of my bag still. You know what I mean?
And it was one of the more well-received ones as well. You know what I mean? Like I started getting, like I don't do music anymore, and I don't feel like I ever blew up as an artist.
Word.
But I started getting more fans as I got into like Nocturnal and stuff like that. Once I got into that pocket, I changed my cadence, stuff like that.
Right.
And like I started getting more comfortable with what I wanted to do musically.
Shit, yo, what was the next EP you put out with the next kid, the Parkdale kid?
Oh, with the Parkdale kid. Oh, was SG RP. SGRP, right?
Yeah. Because I remember recording a bunch of that stuff.
Yeah, he got me back into actually fucking going even harder because I was going to retire after Home.
Oh, that's right. That was in between that time.
Yeah, and then he was like, nah, dog, your shit is dope. And I was like, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Fine. And he's like, I'll produce a whole fucking mixtape for you, dog. I think your shit is dope. And he's just kept on feeding me beats. And like I just started fucking wilding out on them.
Right.
And I made some of my better tunes off of that mixtape. Like 401 is one of my favorite fucking tunes I ever made.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Fucking, I snapped on that shit. I was like, for myself, I'm like listening like, yo, nigga, that's you. You snapped. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So he got me back into like just doing whatever. And then that's when Nocturnal came out. You know what I'm saying?
And then, so me and you do Shift.
We do Shift.
And then what was after that? It was Divided?
The Divided. And that's my last EP or last project I've ever dropped.
Okay.
I have more songs. I have maybe about 20 songs in the tuck. Songs that we have recorded together and all types of stuff, right?
Yeah.
But, you know, like, I'm doing this podcast shit now. Okay, because we smoke. Okay, there's two different kinds of smokers, all right? And I'm not trying to diss the white people or anything in any kind of way, because it's not only white people, just white people I know who smoke like us too.
Okay, yo, let's talk about that, man. The podcast stuff. I mean, that in itself, yo, I remember in my basement that like popping off. Because you had the blog, right? The Sober MC.
Yes.
And then you started vlogging, right? And that was like the chick stuff. And
hey, how y'all doing? Don't forget to like and leave your comments below. And if you like videos like this, as well as others on our channel, please remember to subscribe to the channel, as well as hit the notification bell so you'll know when we're dropping new videos daily. Hey, how y'all doing? Don't forget to like and leave your comments below. And if you like videos like this, as well as others on our channel, please remember to subscribe to the channel, as well as hit the notification bell so you'll know when we're dropping new videos daily.